What's going on, guys? I'm John,
I'm David.
and welcome to Movie Kings here.
I think we're on episode 4.
Four.
Wow.
So
And what are we talking about today?
today we're talking about the Joker movie.
We're talking about the new Joker movie, which aired last Thursday, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Did I say his name right?
Correct. It's not River Phoenix because he's dead.
Ooh, R.I.P. Starring Joaquin Phoenix. I'm going to say this. I want to just get this out there before I give my opinions because I think I need to say this first and foremost.
Okay.
1,000,000% kudos, like 100% kudos to Joaquin Phoenix for his performance in this movie. He acted phenomenally. He was
Right.
just nailed it out of the ballpark. Great acting. Played his role very well, I think. So I want to say that because I'm probably gonna go down. I'm gonna probably go in the opposite direction of where everybody else is going with this. So I think I'll let you kind of say what you want to say first. Maybe give your opinions. But I'm just starting off with he deserves to be nominated for an award for his performance in this movie. He did a very, very good job of playing a psychopath.
Right.
Okay? So I'm not taking anything away from him on that note. All right? And I'm not going to try to compare him to Heath Ledger. I just don't think that's fair. So I'm just going to say that for right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, do you want to lead into your full opinion here?
With that being said, I think the movie was good, but I really didn't think it was great.
Yes.
I watched it, and I just kind of felt maybe that it was missing something, but at the same time, I actually found myself not liking the character.
Right.
Mainly because I'm not a crazy person. I'm a normal human being. I don't think psychopaths are normally good people. But I also had to take a step back and think this is a very different movie. It's very rare, and I can't think of any movies off the top of my head. Maybe you can, where the sole character and the focus is on the villain and only the villain. This movie is like borderline Castaway. Because almost no other characters have that many lines. It's really all him the whole time. Right. And that's why I give him props. He played his character very well. But at the same time, I'm like, was it really even Joker, though? To me? I was watching it, and I was kind of thinking, like, he's like a Ted Bundy psychopath, right? Like, we're watching this guy lose his mind. But is it really Joker? So...
Well, that's kind of what bothered me about it was... which once again, like, it's a good performance and there are good things about it, but it's very much like it's inspired by a lot of the early Martin Scorsese movies, and to the point where it's just like it's just a copy of that. Like there's nothing really like there's not like they basically just decided they wanted to make a movie like that, but with the Joker, and it's like, well, just like you didn't need the Joker character at all. Like you could have just made a movie, and the fact that they like said it in the early 80s was like didn't help their case either. Like why didn't they just make it like a modern day take on it and just go?
I'm glad that you picked up on what time period it was, because I was trying to figure out what time period. That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm a little thrown off by the chronological timing of the Joker. Like where does he? Because he goes to Bruce Manor. We see. Or the Wayne Manor rather, and we see Bruce there. Bruce is like some 8-year-old boy.
Right.
Meanwhile, the Joker's like some 45-year-old, like way old middle-aged man. Like, at what point do these two come together in this timeline and fight each other? Because I feel like by the time Batman comes of age, or Bruce becomes of age to become Batman, like the Joker's in a nursing home. He's 60 years old and he doesn't give a damn. Like I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't quite fit, does it?
Well, one thing that I read said that the Joaquin Phoenix Joker was kind of like he was more of like an inspiration to like the later Joker, like the Heath Ledger one. So it was kind of like he kind of built this movement, and that's kind of where the inspiration.
And I find that perfectly acceptable. That's fine. I think that's great. But again, that still screws everything up because Joker, Dark Knight Joker, Heath Ledger Joker is right around the same age, or at least maybe not that much older than Bruce.
Right.
So it doesn't really fit. I thought, that's weird. Can I tell you where I started hating the Joker?
Where?
When he kills his clown associate.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, this guy's just a psychopath. is not clever. The Joker's clever,
Uh-huh.
right? And I think that's another reason why I didn't care for it too much is because the reason why I liked Heath Ledger's Joker, and even Jack Nicholson for that matter, is that they're antagonists. They're not they're not the main character, but they play well with Batman. These two are just bouncing off each other, and they play well together, and it makes the movie what it is.
Right.
When you have just the Joker, you just literally are watching the guy who's going around murdering people.
Right.
He's a psychopath, and after a while, you can't root for that.
Oh no, well not at all. No.
And I will say this too: the movie went a little too much in the trying to humanize him portion. It was almost over the top. Like it's like this dude literally had been dealt the worst hand in life possible. Like the guy has a laughing disease. He's got a mental disorder. He's straight like creepy looking. All right, I mean no girl's ever gonna go for that. And then on top of that, he's a clown, right? He's like a depressed clown who can't make any money. This man literally has been dealt the worst hand in life impossible. You know, I equivalent it to like if you're building a character in a video game or something like The Sims, and you have all these different categories, right? Like athleticism or fat or good looking or ugly or you're smart or stupid. I feel like he got all the bad categories. This is what you get when you just pick the bad categories.
Right.
And it's like, no wonder why he lost his mind. But it was a little over the top, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole humanizing part. It was like they were trying to make you feel bad for him, and it just didn't work.
Well, I think there was less of trying to make you feel bad for him as it was more like it was more like watching what society can do to people, and it was kind of like he's not I wouldn't say good in the beginning, but he's like he's hanging on like by just a couple threads just about, and it's just kind of like what happens when someone's hanging on just a little bit and they just go over the edge, and it's kind of like it's kind of taking somebody that has a little bit of faith in humanity and just crushes the rest of that, and it shows what happens after that. So I don't think they ever had any intention on making him like a good guy or make you feel like he's going to be. But
it kind of came across as maybe they were trying to make you feel just slightly sad for him. Humanize him a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was kind of like, yeah, it was a little over the top. I mean, this guy literally has the worst luck. I mean, he keeps getting his ass kicked.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting fired. His mom ends up being adopted. I mean, like every bad thing you could have in life, he got it.
Right.
It's like good grief, man. No wonder. But I was also hoping for more Joker. I feel like the majority of this is a 2-hour long movie, so you're watching essentially what I thought was 80% of that movie was him leading up to the point where he finally snaps.
Right.
And that was like the last 10 minutes of the movie. And I would have liked to have seen maybe that happen more in the middle of the movie, and then we get the Joker kind of just doing something, you know, maybe more than just riling up an Antifa mob in the streets of Gotham. You know,
but I think that was kind of the point was kind of like showing the progression of that character.
But it was redundant.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Because it was just kind of like, okay, we get it. He's getting shit on all the time. Can we move on from this and maybe see him become that character, the one that we all know and we actually enjoy to watch?
I actually didn't think it was redundant because it kind of progressed because kind of the first place he gets his taste for violence was when he shoots those guys on the subway, and so like at first he kind of had you can see he has the taste for it, but he doesn't really pursue it much after that. But then slowly he learns more, and he kind of
that guy out of the train. Like
yeah.
He was like, you ain't getting away, dog.
Yeah, for sure. But
you and your friends are all dying.
Right, but like after that, it wasn't like he went and shot like 20 more people. Like right after that, it was
True.
like he tried to go back about his life, and
then the city turned him into a hero. All the people made him a hero, which was like the attention he wouldn't get anywhere else.
Right.
So it was like, ooh, he tried stand-up comedy, didn't work. Clearly, a lot of cringeworthy moments in this movie, like where you're just watching him do something, it's like, oh gosh. It's the way he interacts with some people, like the girl in the elevator. It's like, ooh, man. Like, oh man, why'd you do
I did think it was a good touch having the laughter be like like an illness kind of thing. I thought that was kind of a cool touch.
That was a good idea because that's a real thing, and that kind of makes sense of why he's always laughing at all the time because that's just what he does. He has that really menacing laugh, and I think Joaquin Phoenix did a very good job playing that role. I really do. The laugh was good. He was very menacing looking. Liked it with all the makeup. I just wish we had more Joker. Less build up. That's kind of what I was wondering.
Well, it's an origin story though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. And I thought about it too. Like, did we really even need it? At the end of the day, like, did I need a Joker origin story?
Probably not.
No, probably not at all.
But people love it. Like have you seen like the viewer reactions?
No, but I heard people reacting in the theater. And a lot of it was just like a lot of kind of laughing and kind of almost wanting to cheer.
Oh gosh.
I don't know, man. There's some people who were like getting really hard on the side of Joker when he starts blowing holes in people. I'm like, okay.
Doesn't surprise me, but
I'm like, great.
Yeah, on IMDb, there's like the top 250 like highest rated films list, and Joker's like number 10 on there now. It's like really? Like Joker's number 10? And I remember that like the same thing happened with The Dark Knight. Like people there was enough user reviews when that first came out to like it was like number 1 like initially. Like people put it to number 1. Like it was. I mean, it's good. It's a good movie too, but it's still like it's not number 1. I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, I'm anticipating, I want to know how long is it going to be before we start seeing people in these Antifa mob rallies in D.C. wearing clown masks, because you know how everybody gets so hooked on these movies.
Right.
You're like the V for Vendetta guy.
Oh yeah.
The masks going on the streets. They're going to be trading them up for some Joker masks soon. And
right.
Like, yeah. I just can't wait. It's going to happen. I'm calling it 2 weeks from now. You'll see them. Don't worry.
Oof.
It's Halloween. So they were going to make those stupid things, and everybody's going to buy them up.
Absolutely.
And the next rally, you're going to see them all wearing it. So there you go.
I saw a meme the other day. It was a picture of the Joaquin Phoenix character, and it was like, now this Joker gets to have quotes that he didn't say like attributed to him instead of Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Oh man, poor Heath.
Yeah.
R.I.P. I don't like comparing him to Heath's character because one is just not fair.
They're very different.
They're two completely different characters.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it and you're going to go see it, don't have that comparison because these are two very different characters.
Right.
And like I said, this version is way darker than Heath Ledger's version.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I think so. Way darker. Because this is like some menacing stuff.
Oh, he did some pretty menacing stuff too.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was as bad. I don't know. I'm trying to I haven't seen the Dark Knight in a while.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'll watch it again and I'll come back to it. But to me, this one just seemed way darker.
Mm.
But maybe it's because it was more of like to me it seemed more realistic of a psychopath, like a guy becoming a psychopath.
Yeah. Well, in the Dark Knight, he does some it was kind of like a post 9/11 kind of movie, and he does some pretty psychopathic like terrorist kind of stuff in that. So I think it's just kind of different.
Mm-hmm. No, this is a very modern day movie. So the whole thing is like us versus them.
Mm-hmm.
You have the rich. They actually kind of made Bruce Wayne's dad look like a douchebag.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which like in the Dark Knight series, he was kind of a hero. It was because of him Gotham was doing well.
Yeah.
And then when he got shot, it went down the tank.
Yeah.
So this was actually almost kind of opposite.
Uh-huh.
He was trying to prove his case.
Right.
Which, more than likely, he was just a douchebag. So.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this movie is that I don't think that they were really trying to connect it with anything pre-existing. I think it just kind of exists in its own.
You think they're just kind of playing off that natural us versus them kind of feelings?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a one-off movie. I don't think that it's gonna tie into like the DC universe or whatever they're trying to build.
No, no, I don't think so. Although I thought about it, like, what if they're trying to do something? What if we're gonna get other movies, and then they're gonna bring it all together?
Yeah, they could. I did read something that said apparently Joaquin Phoenix got offered a few years ago a part in the Marvel universe, and like the deal was that he had to be in like 5 or 6 movies, and he didn't want to commit to all that. And somebody offered him like a DC thing, and like they were kind of experimenting with these one-off kind of movies, and he was interested in that, so that's kind of how he got involved.
So that probably means there's probably not going to be another one.
It's debatable at the moment because I think if it makes money, there's always chance for another movie.
True. I mean, well, it made money. There's no doubt about it. What did you say it broke at the box office?
Like 93 million, I think.
93 million is pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
No, it's really good. So you never know. Hollywood will milk that cow as long as they possibly can.
That's good for an R-rated movie too. Like R-rated movies usually don't make a lot of money.
Well, right, because it's limiting your audience
Yeah.
and stuff. So yeah, that's true. I forget that Avengers movies are not R-rated.
No,
They're what are they? They're PG-13.
PG-13, yeah.
Yeah.
they're for children.
They're for the children.
I-
They're kid friendly. This
I-
one not kid friendly. Do not take
No.
your child to see the Joker. For crying out loud, don't be that person.
I went to the movies yesterday, and there was a sign up in the lobby, and it was like, Joker is not your average comic book film, so like don't bring your kids into this movie.
Yeah, there's no Batman.
No.
Right? There's no good versus evil.
No.
It's just straight evil for
Yeah.
2 hours. Like you're literally watching pure evil for 2 hours. Psychopath becoming just you watch him morph into this character.
Right.
And it's cringe. It's kind of messes with you a little bit. Like you start thinking about it, like man, like this guy is just crazy. And, it's weird for me because you always have like when I go to see a movie, you always have like that person you kind of root for.
Yeah.
Especially in hero movies and stuff,
Uh-huh.
you always got your In this one, there's nobody to root for, and the whole movie is about him. It's solely set on him. All these characters that are surrounding him are very limited in their presence overall during the movie.
Right.
They period.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of a weird setup. But they did it. They knocked it out of the park on that part. And they did it.
Yeah. It's more of a character study than.
Yeah. There you go. Smart guy over here.
Mm-hmm.
He's a smart one. I'm the educated one over here. So I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more one-off kind of things like this with other characters. I don't know what other ones they would do in the DC universe that would really stick out.
I don't know. I'm not really a DC guy, so I don't know a whole lot about what characters that would work for.
Yeah, I'm not really a DC guy myself either. The Joker, really. Bane. We could do a one-off of Bane.
Yes.
Starring Tom Hardy. I would do that. I don't think Tom Hardy needs any help in the movie department right now.
No, I think he's doing okay.
Can we talk about, speaking of like bringing things back that shouldn't be brought back or milking that cow for all it's worth? Is anybody else noticing that 21st Century Fox is just going ham on the space movies? So they did Ad Astra.
Uh-huh.
They're doing another one.
What's another one?
What's the other? Just saw the preview for it on Facebook the other day, and it stars. Who's in it? I think. Who played Catwoman? I'm having a hard time.
Halle Berry?
No, the good Catwoman.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Jesus. Dark Knight Catwoman.
Anne Hathaway.
Thank you. I think Anne Hathaway's in this one. Hold on. Now we're gonna make me look this up because it's driving me nuts. But we talked about this the other day.
Uh-huh.
And I was scrolling through Facebook and it was on my feed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. They're literally doing exactly what we spoke about, which is when one studio does a movie, another one does it. But then I said, okay, this one's made by 21st Century Fox. Well, who made Ad Astra? Well, so
Fox.
Fox. So I was like, so they're doing it to themselves. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
this one really went well. Let's just keep going with it.
Well, I think they made The Martian, too. So, that was a few years ago.
Well, that was
but
a few years ago, so I don't
still.
know if that counts. Does it count? What's the statute of limitation before you don't fall into that category?
I don't know.
Everything comes in threes. There's your third.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because I don't think that I mentioned this last time. I love how in all of these astronaut movies, all of the astronauts are hot. Like there's never like it's like Brad Pitt, Matthew McConaughey. It's never like Paul Giamatti as your astronaut.
No, because Paul Giamatti would actually be your astronaut.
Yeah.
Have you seen the all-female team go into space? They're not. Yeah. There's no Halle Berry as Anne Hathaway's an actor. I'm sorry. So that's a good observation. But that's movies in general, right? It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
always everything has always got like the good-looking person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Like the movie Spotlight at the newspaper, they've got like Rachel McAdams is one of the journalists.
Mm-hmm.
It's like no one working at a newspaper has ever been that hot.
Hey, there's somebody that's working at a newspaper that is that hot that's going to resent that comment, John.
Well,
Gonna,
I'm sure there are some, but you know,
we're going to have to answer for that one.
it's a rare commodity.
Did you think, speaking of hot chicks, the girl in the elevator, did you think he was actually hanging out with her?
I was going with it. I wasn't sure where they were going with it, but it didn't surprise me when it turned out to be a figment of his imagination.
It all kind of made sense.
Yeah.
Because when he busted into her apartment and started making out there,
Yeah.
like, there's no way this chick lets this creeper just come in there dressed like a clown. I might add.
Was he dressed like a clown in
I
that
think
scene?
he still had his clown makeup on. That was right after he shot those 3 guys, right?
I don't remember. It's been like a week since I've seen it.
And I'm thinking, okay. At first, I'm like, all right, well, good for you, man. Good for you, Joker. You got yourself, a little side. I mean, we all know he goes for what's her name down the road, technically.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Uh-huh.
But, that makes sense.
Right.
Speaking of, they're going to have a Harley Quinn movie coming out.
Yep.
How much do you think that's going to suck? I like the actress.
Yeah. Well, Suicide Squad definitely sucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
aware. I'm like, ugh.
The weird thing about these movies is that they have decided they're not gonna tie these movies into like the universe anymore. So it's like the problem with that movie was that like they weren't focusing on telling one story. It was like, here's this thing from this other movie, here's this thing from another movie. We're gonna blend them all together and then like come see this next movie. But I don't know. They like hopefully what they're doing now, they can just focus on one movie at a time.
Did
And
they not learn anything from Marvel? Marvel
See-
always ties everything together.
well, see, that's the thing. They were trying to emulate Marvel, and they were like instead of like slowly building movies like Marvel did, it was like, we're gonna give it to you all at once.
Yeah. No character development. Here you go.
Yeah, so it was that didn't work. But I mean, like if they keep going at it like this with just like focusing on one movie at a time, maybe it might be good. But who knows?
Well, they're coming out with the Suicide Squad 2. And
Yeah.
I know this because I see the Facebook ads for being an actor in it in Atlanta.
But it's a reboot.
With the same characters?
It's some of the actors are the same, but it's like a reboot. So it's like, I don't know.
Too soon, Junior.
It's
Oh my god.
yeah, because they've replaced Will Smith with Idris Elba, but Harley Quinn's it's still Margot Robbie. So it's
I love her.
yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She was fantastic in the ice skate movie.
Yeah,
What's her name?
I, Tonya.
I, Tonya.
Uh-huh.
I, Tonya was such a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie. She just knocked that out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
That she's the only saving grace or hope for that Harley Quinn movie, I think. But at the same time, I was watching the previews and I was like, this just looks like a lot of ridiculousness.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm like, it might be entertaining, but it's probably not going to be like one of your top 10 movies.
Oh no.
I just can't see it. I just don't see it happening. I really don't. So
It I think Ewan McGregor looks like he could be pretty good in it too. He looks like he's got kind of a Gonzo kind of part.
yeah, he's good in most things. I liked him in Big Fish. He was good in The Phantom Menace.
He's like one of the few good things about those movies.
I wonder what he would say. Like, I kind of want to know his real opinion on doing those Star Wars movies.
Everything I've seen, he seems to have enjoyed the experience.
Well, yeah, I mean, who wouldn't enjoy
Yeah.
that? I mean, I would have enjoyed the experience too, being a Jedi and getting to pretend to be in that universe. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're making Obi-Wan. It's either a movie or a series with him playing him again, and I think with a different writer, I think it has the potential to be pretty good.
It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I heard they were going to bring Anakin back into all this. The actor who played him,
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen.
Well, that's another thing. If you give that guy some decent dialogue, he's actually not a bad actor.
Did you like him in Jumper?
I never saw Jumper. No.
Jumper had some potential to it, man. I actually didn't hate that movie. A lot of people did. They're like,
Yeah.
the movie sucked. I'm like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't so bad. Like, they actually had a pretty good idea going there, but it just never took off. I think they even shot it to make it like a trilogy out of it, I think is what they were saying.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of tell, like, they let the story running. but I don't think they could ever get approved. I don't think it made the money they thought it would.
I love it when that happens in movies, and then you go back and watch, and you're like, oh, that's poor movie. They did that with Green Lantern.
Ooh.
There was another movie they did that with. There's been multiples. But,
Ryan Reynolds would not have let that happen. And shame on him. He should have known better for making that movie. What was he thinking?
He was thinking money.
Whatever. You don't need money.
Well, he did at the time. He hadn't made Deadpool yet.
That's true. He hadn't made a National Lampoon's movie or anything in a long time, so that makes sense.
Which I'm so glad that he finally found like the one part that was made for him, because he made so many bad movies over the years. And
can you name one of them? Because I might disagree with you.
Let me think. Honestly, for the most part, I'm just going off of reputation for his movies, because I mean he was in those Van Wilder movies.
Hey, those Van Wilder movies were great. All right, it's all-time classics. What are you talking about?
Let's see, what else was he in?
Just Friends.
Yeah, which I never saw.
That's funny. That's a funny movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's comedy. It's what it is. You're not going in there for an Oscar-winning performance.
I've heard, I know it got terrible reviews when it first came out, but I've heard it's kind of like a cult thing. People love it. Is the movie Waiting, which I never saw. But
I love Waiting. Mm-hmm. And the reason why that turned into a cult thing was because it was like a way too accurate of a movie.
Right.
A lot of my friends, including my sister, who works in the restaurant business, was like, yeah, that's a really accurate way of how things work.
Right.
Which kind of freaks you out because it makes you almost not want to eat out in town anymore. But yeah, Waiting was a good movie. And he kind of plays like a creeper in that movie. He's funny. He's like the cool guy at the restaurant, but he sleeps with the underage receptionist girls.
Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen that movie by now, screw you, okay?
Okay.
Get out and go watch some movies.
Okay, he was in Blade Trinity.
Okay.
He was in the Amityville Horror remake.
Never saw it.
He was in Smokin' Aces. He was in Definitely Maybe, which was like a rom-com thing.
Okay.
He was in X-Men Origins Wolverine, where he first played Deadpool.
Yeah, and that was
just unfortunate. He was in Adventureland, which was okay. The Proposal, which I know you love, which I've never seen.
The Proposal was good. That's a good movie.
Then there's the Change Up, Safe House.
He was in Ted?
Yeah, I was just wondering that. I don't remember.
I wonder if he's like a producer or writer in that.
He played Jared. I don't remember who Jared is.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that movie. It's been so long.
Oh, here's one. R.I.P.D. That movie. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, he's buried alive? Is that movie?
No, he was in that movie, but it's this one where he's with Jeff Bridges, where they're like, it's basically like a Men in Black ripoff, where they're dead and they're trying to find like, yeah. Yeah.
I never saw that. I did watch the one where he's buried alive. If you want a cringeworthy movie to watch, oh my gosh, man! Like it's literally the whole movie is just him buried in this coffin and he's trying to get out, and it will literally make your skin crawl because it makes you think like, wow, what would it be like if I was in that situation?
Mm-hmm.
And it is a thing of nightmares.
Yeah, I bet.
And it's not a movie you'll watch twice, but you need to watch it. I wish I could think of the name of it.
It's called Buried.
Oh, it's called
Huh?
Okay, well there you go. It's called Buried. See, this is why John's here, because if I did this podcast by myself, you guys would be like, this guy's a freaking idiot, man. God, he can't think of anything.
But I mean, like of getting back to Ryan Reynolds, of all those movies, like none of those were iconic like he is with Deadpool.
No, Deadpool
the part was made for him.
And the fact that he makes fun of himself at the end of those movies by killing off the really bad characters that he played, just makes it all the while better. That was his shining moment.
Mm-hmm.
I hope there's going to be a third one.
There is. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they've confirmed that he's going to be a part of it.
You got to do a third one of those.
Well, he's going to be in the MCU, so which could be pretty cool.
I'd like to see them bring some of those Netflix and Marvel guys out into the MCU movie world. I'd love to see the Punisher.
Mm-hmm.
I was upset. I'm still upset about this, and there's still rumors floating around that they're going to bring those shows from Netflix to the Disney streaming service. But I have a feeling that's not going to happen. I'm not going to get my hopes up.
Right.
But I would love to, because the Punisher was awesome. Not Deadpool. Daredevil. I mean, those were just phenomenal shows. I mean, they did them so well. Why would you just end it like that?
Yeah, it's well, I think their contract kind of ran up with Netflix.
I know, but if Disney has half a brain, which I'm not so sure they do anymore, because we see what they're doing with live action remakes of all of our childhood cartoons. They're butchering the Star Wars series. They can't even make a Solo movie right. I have a feeling they're never going to bring those shows that made so much money for Netflix over to the Disney streaming service.
One thing that I heard was that they're they're going to take the Kingpin character from the show. They're going to have Vincent D'Onofrio play Kingpin in the next Spider-Man movie. That's a rumor that's going around right now.
That'd be a good one.
Which could be really cool.
He's
yeah.
a good Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
I liked his character. A lot of people thought that his acting was bad because of his mannerisms in that, but that's just who he is.
That's what makes him so good.
Yeah, he was.
He's very awkward.
Yeah, that was his whole point. He was supposed to be socially awkward because he grew up in a really crappy household.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a Joker
And
situation.
murdered his father.
Yeah.
Very violently.
Yeah. Stop beating my mom. I'm sorry, you don't come back from that.
No.
You know, you don't shove something through your dad's skull and come out a normal person on the other side. It just doesn't happen. Not for anybody.
No. Not for Kingpin, not for Joker.
Well, Joker killed people in self-defense. You thought, you may think, that's not such a big deal. That sucks, but you come back from that.
Until he kills his mom. Smothers her with a pillow.
I'm adopted? You lied to me?
Well, do you think... I don't think he was actually adopted. I think he was actually Thomas Wayne's kid. And
you really think he was?
Yeah, I think he was. I think he had his mom sign those papers.
I think that he wasn't, and she thought she made that up in her head because she was crazy.
Well, it could be either one.
I know it could be either one. I thought that too. Mm-hmm. I think I was thinking it was just that she was psycho.
Yeah, it could be.
Because I don't like the idea that the Joker and Batman are half brothers.
It's very interesting to think about, though.
It would be. Kind of would make a lot of sense of why they like fighting each other so much. Because it's kind of like what they would do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I like the movie. I didn't think it was that great though. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. If Joaquin Phoenix didn't act as well as he did, that whole movie would have been a bust.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it was literally like that was it, make or break.
Did you expect were you expecting him to shoot Robert De Niro at the end?
Yeah,
I was too.
I was too. Because he was practicing that thing in the beforehand where he was putting the gun to his head and knock knock, who's there? Cow, he shoots himself. I'm like, he's probably gonna shoot him. He's probably gonna pull that gun out and wave it around and then shoot him. I was expecting more of it to be more dramatic, not just like pull it out and bang, kill him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that coming a million miles away.
Yeah, which I think other people were surprised about that, but I was
really?
I was like, really? Yeah. I saw that coming.
Yeah, there's a lot of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
If you didn't see that coming, you weren't paying attention to the movie. So do you think, let me ask you this, do you think there's going to be all the quoting? Was there any quote-worthy lines from the Joker-ism? Because you got like, why so serious,
He says something at the end about humor being subjective, so that could be like one of the things that gets put on there. It was something like that. I can't remember the exact quote.
Humor is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
You make a very valid point, but you're not funny. You're just weird. God, it was so cringy. I can't get over that. The whole half of that movie, I'm sitting there just like, oh, why are you doing that?
What are you doing?
Come on, what are you doing? Get off the stage.
I did like, and I didn't notice this until I got home and was thinking about it later. Did you notice what the comedy club was named?
No, what was it called?
It was called Pogo's Comedy Club, and that is the name of the clown that John Wayne Gacy played.
Oh, I never would have known that.
I didn't think about it until I got home, and I was like, Pogo. Oh, okay.
If anybody listening right now is hearing this, don't ever play like Trivia Pursuit with this guy. He will crush you. He will destroy every. Yeah, he will waste you into oblivion. And we played it one time, and that was one too many.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really know what this is. Him and his friend Dusty, like they just knock it out of the park. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know a lot of random things, and it's a gift and a curse. Mostly a curse.
Why is it a curse? I mean, you never know. You could. It might take you somewhere.
I don't think so. See, you see, I don't know enough. Like, I don't know enough like normal questions. I know mainly pop culture, which does not help you in like Jeopardy. Like Jeopardy, they have all these questions, and they'll have like one pop culture like category, and that's the one that I clean up in, and like nobody else on the show cleans up on that category, and then it's like the opposite for them. They know all
like
the smart questions.
It's like sports for me, right? So
Yeah,
I'll be watching Jeopardy, I'll have a sports category, and I can like pretty much get most of them.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else there, they don't know a damn thing about
No.
sports. They're like, oh, I just forgot to read that section of the book.
That would be me. I don't know. Yeah.
How can that be? Your dad's a sports writer.
Yeah, but I didn't really get the gene. I know some things, but I don't know.
You got the movie gene.
I got the movie gene. Yeah.
Who does that come from in your line of the family?
My dad.
Like your great uncle that he starred in like the first silent film with who by the way was in this movie, Charlie Chaplin.
It could be. I don't know.
He's Charlie Chaplin's cousin. Fun fact, in case anybody didn't know that. That's where I get it from. What are we excited? There was a lot of previews before the movie. I was late to the movie theater and I wasn't worried about it because I knew they always have like 30 minutes of previews. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Saw obviously the 1912 movie
that looks good.
That looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Movie that doesn't look good is the new Terminator movie. Can we please put that to rest already?
You know, I think like I have like a sliver of hope that it might be okay because it's got the director of Deadpool is making it. So, and he's made good stuff. So
I don't know, man.
Oh, it could be totally trash. I'm not saying it's gonna be great. I'm just saying it might be okay. But
you gotta remember, Deadpool's good because of who Deadpool's character is.
Yes, but the guy that directed it also he was kind of the he did the design for Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is like an amazing movie too.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Yeah, so I mean he's done some good stuff. So if he signed on to make this movie, then you never know.
Alrighty. Listen,
we'll go see it for the podcast and figure it out. You're like, oh no.
I just think that there's a time where we just literally need to put things to bed.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't understand why they can get away with using essentially the same plot every damn movie. It's literally the same thing. It's just different people and different characters.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why they've never done just a movie about the war. Like, let's just watch people fight machines.
Well, that was what
make like a Tom Hanks war movie. With Terminator.
I think that was the Christian Bale one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't like full on war though, was it?
I didn't see it, so I couldn't tell you.
It was that was a long time ago.
That's 10 years.
Oh my gosh, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I can't tell you anything, but I just think it's time.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
This is it, Hollywood. Are you listening to us?
Until it makes money.
No, I don't care. Look, people go see things just to go see it because you can make it's like the damn Transformers movies, right? The first two were great. After that, they needed to stop.
Which was weird because like people kept seeing those movies, and then they finally made a good one last year. They made that Bumblebee movie, which was actually a decent movie.
I didn't see it.
It was actually a pretty good movie, and then like nobody saw it. But I think they're still going. Of course, they're still going to make it.
That's because it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. It's the same situation. You can keep saying it, but it's not true. And then one day it does become true, and everybody's out the door. Like nobody cares, man. We don't believe you. It's like Michael Bay. Give it up.
Well, that was the thing. Michael Bay didn't make that one, so like they finally found the golden recipe.
So
they made a good movie.
A bunch of sound effects and special effects.
It was basically E.T. but with Transformers. If that
Spielberg made this?
No, Spielberg didn't make it.
Some kid flew off across the moon in a bike?
No, but the girl finds Bumblebee and takes him home, and she has to hide him, and
it's a typical alien child
story. Yeah, and
like Mac and Me.
Like the Mac and Me. Of course, the government's looking for Bumblebee. It's the same thing, but it was good. It was a fun movie.
I'll take your word on it because I'm like one of those people who are like you get no more from me.
If it's on, turn it on. I'm not saying I'm not saying go to the theater to see it, but
it was like Jurassic Park. Like I never watched the last Jurassic Park movie.
With
Chris Pratt.
The first one I
like Chris Pratt though.
Yeah, he's good. The first one I actually enjoyed. It was just kind of like it was just a big dumb fun summer blockbuster, and there was some fun elements to it. This last one was that was rough.
I didn't watch any of them because I felt like, honestly though, even like Jurassic Park 3, I felt like didn't need to happen. The Lost World was where I felt like it should have ended.
That movie was. It should have ended with the first one.
No, I like The Lost World.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
How long has it been since you've seen it?
I watched. Well, it's funny. It came on TV the other day, and every time it's been on TV a couple of times, and so I'll go to click on it. And go, I'll watch this, and every time I go to click on it, it's literally in the same scene. I kid you not. It's like right there where they have the baby T-Rex in the trailer.
Yeah.
And they're about to get caught by the mom and dad. So I'm like, every time I click on it, it's this exact same scene. So I'll watch like a few minutes and then I just turn away. But I actually remember liking The Lost. I know I'm gonna get some shit for this. I liked The Lost World more than I liked the first one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. Yeah. Not sorry, actually. I thought it was good.
To be fair, I'm not a big fan of the original movie, so But
I liked dinosaurs when I was a kid.
Yeah,
And you gotta remember, these movies came out when we were kids.
Yeah.
So for me, I was like, yeah, this is cool. And The Lost World had more dinosaur action.
The Lost World. My favorite thing about that movie, my favorite terrible thing, is that like the little girl in the movie. Like early on, they foreshadowed like they show her doing gymnastics and like for no reason. And you're like, why? Like, why is she doing gymnastics? And then, like, towards the end of the movie, she does gymnastics to save somebody or do something insane.
She, just kicks a raptor.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that's why they did this whole thing.
Oh, you landed it perfect, baby doll. Now let's get the hell out of here before we get eaten alive.
It's so dumb.
Like, the raptor could have just taken her out. Like, that would have been better, actually. Is if she was spinning around and she's about to land it, and he just jumps in the air and gets her like a hawk getting a fish like that's jumping through the water, man. Like, yeah.
That's what I thought about The Good Dinosaur. It would have been great if it would have been a great movie if that dinosaur just eaten that kid.
I didn't see it. I actually
you didn't miss anything.
Kate. Yeah, well, Kate and I went and watched the behind the scenes at SCAD in Atlanta. They had like the. I don't know if it was the director. I think it was. Somebody. It was a big guy that worked for Pixar. He was at SCAD. He was sitting there like answering questions, and they showed clips. Of course, they showed a sad clip where the dinosaurs talking to the kid about how they lost their family.
Yeah.
And of course, everybody in the theater starts crying because that's what Pixar does.
Right.
That's the difference between DreamWorks and Pixar. Right?
Yeah.
If you watch these Pixar ads, you go, the difference is nobody's going to die in the DreamWorks movie and make me cry my eyes out.
Right.
But in the Pixar movie, something is going to die. And then I'm going to cry. And I'm a man. And I'm not supposed to cry.
You're allowed to cry. Come on.
No, I don't like it, man. Not Pixar movies. It's like makes me feel a little bit. It just makes me feel a little sad. Like I can't do
absolutely.
it. Can't cry. Can't do it. But that's Pixar. They know how to tug at your heartstrings. The last good Pixar movie I saw was Coco.
Oh, Coco's so good.
God, Coco was really good. It was just so well done all around. The colors, the visuals, and everything. The storyline. If you didn't cry at that movie, you are a soulless bastard. Like, you should go check in somewhere and get help. Because that movie was straight sad.
Yeah.
So, I held it in. Like, I held it together super good, too. I was, like, fighting it. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I went upstairs and I went, oh! And Kate comes in. She's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. Of course, I was having like a really stressful week too, I think.
Oh,
and so
no.
it just like added to it. Kate just gives me a big hug and she's like, it's okay, just let it out. And I'm like, snot crying, blowing snot bubbles out. It wasn't that bad.
I cried multiple times during that movie.
If I had been by myself, it would have been like straight tears for the whole movie.
I was by myself the first time I saw it, so yeah.
When you're by yourself, it's perfectly acceptable. You don't care. But when you're around other people, you're like, I gotta hold it together.
You see, I feel weirder when I'm by myself, like crying in public. It's just like.
Oh, you meant in the theater?
Yeah, in the theater.
Oh, I'm talking about in the privacy of your own
Right,
home.
right.
Yeah, in the theater, you're probably like, God, that's even worse.
Yeah, especially for a movie that's kind of made for children.
Yeah, you're a grown man.
Yeah.
You're a grown ass man by yourself in the theater in a kids movie, and all these people are like around you, staring at you, like, and you're like, I'm sorry, I can't help it.
That's usually what happens when I go to see these movies for children. I go by myself like a weirdo.
Tub of popcorn,
yeah,
dinosaur shaped Coca-Cola.
the greatest thing was the time that I saw Frozen.
Oh jeez, you went to Frozen by yourself?
I went to Frozen by myself because like nobody else wanted to see it, and so like I wanted to go see it, and like nobody wanted to see it. So it was like a few days after Christmas. It was like between Christmas and New Year's, and like it had been out for like a month, and I was like, like there's not gonna be a big crowd going to see this movie. I should be fine.
Yeah, I can sneak in here. No
Yeah.
judgment.
So I get there and I walk in and it's like a packed house. I'm just like, oh no.
It's kind of how I felt yesterday at the Joker movie. I thought I'd be all alone. There was a ton of people.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so I walk in by myself to this packed house, and I'm like sitting next to these children, and like because there's like only a few like scattered seats here and there, and so I'm sitting there, and it was so awkward sitting next to these kids the whole movie, but also like the greatest thing was you get to watch as all these families are coming into the movie, and they're walking in, and they're like, oh, I made a big mistake here.
You made a serious mistake.
Yeah.
I'd give you credit for going to that movie in the theater, especially by yourself with no child.
Let's see what movies I've seen so many. I saw Tangled by myself. I saw crap. What else did I see by myself? I saw Finding Dory by myself. That's my rule. Is I have to see every Pixar movie at the theater, like no matter if I want to see it or not.
It is the best experience, and if you can go through like an IMAX experience with it, it's even better.
Mm-hmm.
Pixar is perfect for the theater. I agree.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna watch it at home, it's got to be in HD.
Yeah.
Kate hasn't seen WALL-E,
Oh, really?
and WALL-E is one of my favorite Pixar movies. So I'm gonna see if she'll watch that with me.
I've got it right here if you want to borrow
Okay,
it.
well, we're gonna definitely get that. I want to take that home with me tonight.
Feel free to.
Is it Blu-ray?
It's DVD.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry.
Who gets DVDs anymore, John? Jeez.
Sorry. The movie's only like 11 years old.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I remember seeing it in theaters. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. At the Dollar Movie when that was I saw it at the Dollar Movie when that was still a building before it got crushed.
Oh, R.I.P.
Mm-hmm.
I saw mine at the regular theater. It's still there. They haven't torn it down, so I don't know sad story there. But, dollar movies, I don't think really exist anymore.
The only one that I can really think about, well, I mean, there are some around, but the only one that I can think about is the one that we saw Mad Max at, which is in the Hispanic Mall.
Yeah, it's like Little Mexico over there.
Yeah,
you're like in a whole different country.
It's so weird because it's like the mall is mainly Hispanic, and then the movie theater is like the one part that is like English speaking, and it's mostly like a bunch of old white people that go there.
Duluth, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. So it's over by Gwinnett Place, over by the mall they shot Stranger Things
the
at.
Stranger Things mall.
Yeah.
Yes, see. Come, see our Stranger Things mall. Yes, si bueno. I don't know if that even was a word. But
well, I'm not gonna say it. I don't know either. So
I try to stay away from that area. Period. We went to that movie theater and I was like, I'm good. We're never coming back here again.
The great thing
It
though,
smelled like burned popcorn in there too. Do you remember that?
I'm sure it did. I don't remember.
Terrible.
I've been there several times. The that theater, well, not the theater, but the mall. The great thing about that mall is because I've been with a friend before, and we had to enter, like, there was no parking in the movie theater side, so we went and parked on the far end, and like we had to walk through the mall area because it was freezing outside. So we're walking through the mall, and they're having a like a beauty pageant there, and like we couldn't understand a word of what was going on. But as we were walking by, they had like there's a kiosk there in the middle, and they're selling like those luchador masks, like the wrestler masks from the Lucha Libre. And I was like, that's amazing! Like I want one of those masks so bad.
I think my buddy Marco has one of those.
Really?
Yeah, and that would make sense because he was a Hispanic man in the Marine Corps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was always bringing in tacos. He does these really good, like these cream cheese tacos or something, like sour. I don't know what they are, but they look delicious.
Sounds amazing.
It's all authentic crap. You can't beat authentic Mexican food.
Tex-Mex is pretty good.
Tex-Mex is good. I love good authentic, like the tacos.
Yeah.
Like you go to like the little taco stands, like the one over there at the gas station. You can't beat that.
Right.
When I was out in California, when we were like Camp Pendleton and 29 Palms, that was like the thing to do, was to go find the key to it is, if you're ever out there, is to find one that is completely run down. Like you probably shouldn't eat here because you're gonna get like worms.
A hole in the wall.
Yes, they all have the best burritos. You just get they're massive, like they're this wide, and like that big around. They stuff them completely full of meat. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
But was it as good as Taco Bell?
Oh.
Did it give you diarrhea afterwards?
I did not get the bubble guts like I do at Taco Bell. Taco Bell has made me want to commit suicide a couple of times.
Numerous times.
Yeah, there's been some times where I've contemplated killing myself after eating Taco Bell.
But it's so good.
It's like, God, I'm in so much pain. What was I freaking thinking? So, no, nothing like Taco Bell.
Do you remember the Taco Bell Godzilla movie tie-in they had in the 90s?
Was that the one with what's his name?
With the little Chihuahua?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember the Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Can we bring that back?
Yeah, right? I mean, they're bringing everything else 90s back.
Do you remember Taco Neck Syndrome?
No.
Taco Neck Syndrome was like a really brief thing they had for a minute where people were walking like this.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And they're like trying to like level things. It was a joke, like, yeah, it looks level to me, but it was crooked because he had Taco Neck Syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a 5-minute thing. It's kind of like those Bud Light commercials.
I forgot about that.
That's another thing. Can we bring back funny Bud Light commercials?
Yeah, I would like that.
Listen, I don't care if you drink beer or not, but these commercials of like, we make beer the hard way, or we're a responsible company who cares about the community. Like, dude, you make beer. Like, nobody cares.
They do have the Bud Night now, which is like they're getting there.
They're trying to go back
Yeah.
to being funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was as if they had a bunch of frat kids working at their marketing department before, and it was great. And then they're like, we really want to be more respected in this community. So they hired like 60-year-old geriatric old men to make their commercials, and that's when they had like, let's stampede the horses out and make us look so serious and tell everybody why we make beer the hard ways. You know, it's like, get out.
Well, that's why the 90s are are so fond in everyone's mind too, is because it's not just like the beer commercials, it was everything back then, because like you saw like how McDonald's used to look back then. Like I just saw Pepsi, not Pepsi, Pizza Hut brought back their old logo, and it, I mean, it's just so like it's more pleasing to the eye. There's just like it's very,
because we grew up in that time though.
well, it is, but also, I mean, like look at how things looked like in the 2000s to recently. They don't look fun anymore. Like look at Pepsi's logo. It looks like an off-brand.
Have you seen Taco Bell's lately? Like, Taco Bell's look like modern art galleries.
Very corporate looking.
Like even like the Wendy's, or like you drive by
Yeah.
and go, that's a Wendy's? Like that looks nice. Wendy's is not supposed to look nice, and nor is McDonald's. Okay, the floors need to be wet. It needs to be like brown tile that's soaking wet because they mop it and it never dries because it's humid in there.
Mm-hmm.
And like the back looks like it's basically never been cleaned. That is what fast food's supposed to look like.
Exactly.
Now it's all like super clean. Like I could eat off the bathroom floor. It's weird.
And let's bring back smoking sections while we're at it.
Yeah, you know what? Why can't I smoke on an airplane?
And why can't I smoke in a McDonald's? I need, like, if I'm gonna have if I'm gonna have that double cheeseburger.
Who was the guy that bitched enough at McDonald's because some guy was smoking a cigarette? You know, sir, could you put the cigarette out? You're ruining my Big Mac experience. Okay,
Well,
this is fine dining, and you're ruining that for me.
Well, you know, some states still have it. Like I went to South Carolina a few years ago, and I walked into like a Chili's, I think, and there was like an ashtray sitting on the table.
We could smoke at all the restaurants and bars down in Warner Robins where I was
Really?
stationed at. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I remember that was actually miserable because we would go out every Saturday or Friday night. We'd go out to the bar, me and all my friends, and as soon as you walked in, like you could see this haze of smoke over like the dance floor and stuff, and like your eyes would just start burning, and you were just like, God, what are you like? Can someone turn on the air conditioner or something in here? Can we get a fan? It was awful.
It's just such an odd thing to even think about, because like we haven't had to live with that for so long.
It is weird because it's something that kind of disappeared without you really even, I think, noticing.
Yeah.
So when you see it, you go, "Oh my, that man's smoking next to me. He's gonna ruin my meal. This steak is no longer gonna taste good. It's gonna taste like tobacco."
Mm-hmm.
Like, get out. It doesn't bother me. Like vaping kids, vaping can make you look kind of douchey, but if you're gonna vape, I don't care. Especially like on an airplane or something. Like, why is that a big deal?
Yeah.
It's just fog.
Yeah, I don't know. It same. Well, it depends on the flavor though too, because some of them smell really sweet, and it's too much.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I think everybody's mad because someone hacked the no smoking rule. Because that's what I thought is when they brought in vaping in the Marine Corps. These kids were like sitting on duty in the duty hut, like vaping, like what's up, bro? I'm like, what is this? He goes, oh, this? You like that? It's my vaping pen. Now I don't have to go to the smoke pit. And it's like, because in the military, you have to walk like 50 feet from the building to go smoke when you want to smoke. You're not allowed to go in the building or near it.
Right.
And so this, to me, was like, it was the cheat code, and it just pissed everybody off. So they're like, oh, no, we can't have this. Like, you can't smoke that in here.
Well, yeah, I agree, but I mean, like I said, there's also just like it can plume out a bit too much, and the smell can like.
Well, there's those dudes that get ridiculous with it. Like you see them driving down a road, and just like this white fog is coming
yeah,
from the side.
that's the thing. Like I've been behind them before, and like I drive through the smoke, and it's like
You can
cotton candy.
Was it it's like a 16-year-old girl in the car in front of me? Bubble gum? What is this? I love that that's all the new rage now. It's like they're trying to ban flavored e-cigarettes because it's appealing to young teenagers.
Well, it's not good for you either.
Well, none of it's good for you.
No, it's not, but...
I'm pretty sure I saw a 15-year-old kid smoking a cigarette the other day, so I don't think your band's going to really stop it.
Oh, no.
So,
No.
That's, Joaquin Phoenix smoked like a chimney in that movie, too. That was another thing. You ever
Did
notice
he? I didn't even
how
notice.
villains always smoke a lot? Like, if you're a villain in a movie, you almost have to smoke.
Like who? I'm trying to think.
Like, everybody. Every villain smokes, don't they?
I don't
At
know.
some point, they have a cigarette in their mouth.
I don't know. I haven't
Heroes,
noticed.
well, unless it's Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, he's in Die Hard. That's when you're a badass 80s flick superhero, you smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, well, I typically think of heroes for like until the past 30 years. I think of like the heroes in the movie smoking cigarettes.
Always have a cigarette hanging out
Yeah.
in their mouth. They got like an assault rifle.
Yeah.
You know, it's like belt fed, and they're sitting there like with one hand feeding it. You like that? You want some more? Hold on. All right.
That's why everyone looked old and wrinkly, like when they were like 60, 30 years ago, instead of looking like how Brad Pitt looks now.
Yeah, Brad Pitt looks great because Brad Pitt probably has never. Well, he smokes, doesn't he?
I don't know, but I mean, he's like 55 though. He doesn't look like it. No.
I don't. Like I said, I want to figure out what him and Jennifer Aniston have been doing. They were dating when they were young, and they all both look young. I think Jennifer Aniston just now is starting to look her age.
Yeah, and like even Angelina Jolie still looks really good too.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I think they sold their soul to the devil.
They could have.
There was like they crossed paths, and he's like, "What do you want? I could look young forever." Deal.
Are we gonna see the Maleficent movie?
Oh, I never saw the first one.
I didn't
did
either.
You?
No, that was this goes
like an all-out war.
This goes back to the Dollar Movie. The last year that the Dollar Movie was open, like the studios, like they weren't sending out film prints as much, and they were sending out digital copies. So all of the Dollar Movies that were in business, like they couldn't afford to upgrade. So that's how a lot of them closed. So the Dollar Movie that I used to go to, they they just basically kept what film prints they had for like the last few months. So they had Maleficent for like 7 months or something crazy. Like you would keep driving past the marquee and it's like, oh, Maleficent's still playing. Oh, still there. Still haven't seen it.
Nope, and I don't know if I'll go see this one. It's like all-out war. Disney, Maleficent. I can't even say it.
Maleficent.
Maleficent. There'll be fairies and demons.
I need to see Sleeping Beauty again. It's been like 20 years since I've watched it. Yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah, I could watch that. I'd see the old cartoons. I don't mind watching, but this new live action crap,
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna do it. I refuse. I am not gonna support that crap.
The Jungle Book was good, and that was it.
I didn't see that one.
It was worth watching, but yeah, don't bother with the rest of them.
I love how like the Aladdin movie. If you look at the cover of it, it looks like some off Beatles porno. Like, doesn't it though? Like
It
the cast.
does, yes.
It does, man. Like you look at it, you go, is that a real movie or is this like something I'm gonna see at the store I'm not supposed to go into? It's like really bad. And I love how like everybody got so mad at that movie because there was like no Persian or Arabic actors in it. Apparently, everybody was like super mad because Disney whitewashed it.
Oh, really?
But I mean, Will Smith was in there. Isn't that good enough?
Yeah.
But then he got mad because they painted him blue.
Yeah, that's all. Like, don't get me started on Aladdin. That's a whole other category right there.
Well, we can talk about that.
We're at 59 minutes as is though. So.
Okay, well, whatever. It's just as soon as we start to get into something good, I'm gonna say.
Sorry.
I'll bring it back up the next podcast next week.
That's I saw Aladdin, so I can greatly argue about it.
I'll watch it.
If you want to watch it, then we can definitely have an argument.
There's just something like life's too short to watch crappy movies, man. You know what I mean?
Well, we've got.
I'm not getting paid to do this. Just so everybody knows, like we're not making money. We're gonna watch what we probably want to watch.
I was gonna say, well, like the latest movies this week have not gotten good reviews. So like next week's episode, we might have to see some crappy movies.
Ooh, well, this is a weird time of year because we were talking about this before. Like, there's a lot of what seems to just kind of be filler to get you through the year.
Right.
Because we were going through the list like, nah, that doesn't sound good. Like, nah, we know that's gonna be bad. And we of course Ad Astra finally came out. That worked out. So
that's the fun thing about reviews though is seeing bad movies and talking about them.
Well, I'm fine with it. We'll figure something out for next week. Nothing's coming out. Zombieland 2.
Zombieland 2, I do want to see that.
One. That one's going to be really good. So I look forward to talking about that one.
Well, Gemini Man just came out too, so that's not gotten good reviews. But I feel like we should probably see that as well.
It's Gemini Man. I didn't hear
It's the Will Smith movie where he's like young and old.
Oh, gosh. I feel bad for Will Smith. I feel like he really just kind of took a cliff dive in the movie world. Like, he was doing pretty well there for a while. Like, he was just, like, kind of... It's like a roller coaster. He's going up that chain. Click, click, click. Everything's going good. And it was, like... Done.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, I feel like he made a couple good movies, and then, like, the rest, he just... Like, he's a charming guy, and, like, his movies weren't very good, but people...
Well, you didn't like Wild Wild West?
That's a bad movie.
Wild Wild West was a great movie.
Oh, that's a bad movie.
No.
The Wild Wild West. James West, Desperado.
Oh my gosh. I remember being a kid loving that movie, and then when I grew up and watched it again, I was like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking?
Had a great Burger King marketing campaign.
Oh my gosh, the Wild West burger?
It was everywhere. Yeah, of course I do.
That burger was actually good.
It was good.
They can bring that back. That was back in the day when Burger King was better than McDonald's.
Yeah, they do not have that title to claim now.
No, Burger King's barely holding on. I love there's this GIF floating around the internet where it's like you see this car parked on the street and then this other vehicle pulls up next to it and the car parked has Ronald McDonald in it and the window of the other car rolls down and it's the King and Ronald McDonald smiles and the King just shoots him like mob style and then drives off. It's awesome.
It's so good.
I'm like, I feel like that's how it would be. It's real. That I just cracked up. Like, finally somebody made that. We all were thinking it.
Mm-hmm.
Someone finally did it. Well, I think ultimately this is one I'm gonna close out on this one.
Okay.
The Joker was okay.
Yeah.
It was good. It was not what I expected it to be, but all in all, I give it 2 out of 5 stars. And I would tell you, if you haven't seen it, wait for Netflix.
Yeah, I'd give it like a B. It's like it's at like 69% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is like that's about right.
That's
me.
Pretty fair.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When I heard that prior to seeing it, I thought, what?
Yeah.
But then I saw it and I went, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. So you give it a B. I give it a 2. Mm-hmm. Wait till it comes out on Netflix. Don't waste the money in the theater. Walking Phoenix definitely did a bang up job, but I'm sorry, still my favorite Joker is Heath Ledger.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I'd say go see it at the theater. It's not a bad movie. So
no, don't do it. Don't waste your money. It's too expensive.
Mer.
Sorry. In December, you got Star Wars, you got Zombieland 2, you got plenty of great movies coming out. Spend your money on that.
Go see Maleficent 2.
Yeah. Don't. Goodbye.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget to follow us on social media at JD Movie Kings on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram.
Absolutely.
And subscribe to us if you're watching us on YouTube. And
drop us a comment because we want to know what you thought about Joker.
Yes.
Did you like it? Did you think it was terrible, or did you think it was the best Joker movie ever made?
Yeah.
So leave us a comment. Mm-hmm. We will respond.
And with that, we will say goodbye, everybody. Till next week. Hopefully.
Goodbye.